Hi, welcome to the Pur'N'Kleen podcast, episode number 26. My name is Rommel, and today we're going to talk about applying financial concepts. So in our last video, we created our first financial projection, and now we're going to start applying what we've learned towards modeling our business. So let's take a look at our financial projection again and point out things we're unsure about. So here's our financial projection, and based on the assumptions that we made on our last video, we determined that by 2950 we're going to make a profit of 2,714,423 USD per year, which is quite good considering where we started, making making about 600,000 USD per year. So what you want to do is you want to circle everything that's a big assumption and you want to question it. Now, in our case here with Star Citizen being in development, pretty much every single item here is going to be red circled, right? Like everything is just made up, completely made up by me. I don't know if these are good numbers or bad numbers. I have made a fair guess, but chances are they're all pretty wrong. But you want to, if this was an actual projection after the game was released, go ahead and circle everything that you're not sure about and just have a conversation with the people that are in charge of that particular item and, get input and just do your best guess. That's the best you can do. If you are looking at a financial projection, you will never foresee the future. You will never foresee what will happen. But just do your best guess and, make decisions on your business based on those best guesses. So, for example, you may question that your marketing expenses will probably be lower than that, or that your costs will probably be higher. So on and so forth. Just go through every item and say like, okay, is it really reasonable that this is actually going to grow at a 33% rate when, there could be Vandal excursion, there could be game patches, there could be all kinds of things. So, just do the best you can. And in terms of validating your assumptions, remember, unit economics may be incorrect. You need to record and log the information so that you can make those corrections, and then you double check your data and you adjust your financial projection. So again, this is a living document, right? This is not, you're not gonna get it right the first try, and it's almost by design this way. But what's going to happen is as you play the game and as you figure out how the economy works and as CIG tweaks the economy, then you're going to get better and better numbers, and all of a sudden you're no longer wrong by 100% or 50%. Your numbers are off by 3% or 5%, which is totally fine. Now think through the issues and strategies. So can we make our processes more efficient to improve our unit economics? For example, we saw that just by tweaking our unit economics 10%, it resulted in a huge increase in price. And if we can improve these over time, even if it means 3% improvement year after year, you're gonna make huge impacts on your bottom line. Can we do more aggressive marketing and sell more at a lower price? So for example, we're assuming that we're going to sell at a set price and, that we're going to have a set amount of marketing for that. But perhaps we're not satisfied with our numbers, and what we need to do is we need to increase the number of units sold. Because we can, because there's a lot of buyers for what we actually want, so we can afford to lower the price so that we can take a bigger market share. And in that case, should we divest more money into marketing prices and maybe increase our marketing team and then sell more items at a lower price, but overall we're making more revenue. And then, if we do not hit our growth rate, does that mean that we need to increase our prices? Perhaps after time we know that, we're not hitting our growth rate, but we want to keep making money, and we know that the market will pay more for this. So, why not increase our prices? This is something that you can do if you have these numbers. And can we lower our fixed expenses? So again, we talked about our fixed expenses and taking advantage of economies of scale. And you can see that we have estimated that they grow by 20%, but perhaps you can centralize things. Perhaps you can be more efficient with your resources, more efficient with your inventory system, more efficient with your warehouse. Perhaps you don't need as much customer service. All these things, they can change, and they can be lowered. So you want to think about those issues. Like if you determine that, our customer services are too high, then perhaps we don't want to sell as direct. Perhaps we want to be distributors, and we want to alter our business strategy so that we can lower those expenses. Make your assumptions concrete. So like I said, these assumptions will be wrong. You will need to revisit them. You will need to re-question until they are no longer assumptions. But then even when you get there, stuff always changes. You can expect CIG to completely destroy the economy, completely destroy your financial assumptions. Everything will be wrong one day because they released the patch, and it increased the prices of one resource because they thought it would make a good fun gameplay element. So just anticipate that. That's going to happen. Just deal with it. Just keep revisiting, keep getting new numbers until you make them concrete. And then when you make them concrete, expect that they will break, and try again. That's the best you can do. And compare your projections to reality. So again, at the end of the year, it's useful to compare what you actually made in revenue with what with the reality, with what you put in your projection. And you will never be perfect, but you want to catch the situations when you're way off. Like if you're way off by 50%, you want to diagnose why. So obviously, the more data you put in, the more accurate your projections will be. But at the same time, realize that this is not an actual business. This is a video game, and it's okay to just do your best guess and just get a big picture of how you're doing. You want to probably get numbers at the month detail level. Monthly detail level. You probably don't have the resources or time or willingness to do them at the daily level or at the transaction level, and that's okay. I mean, that's okay as long as you have fun, which is the main thing here. So let me see. Yeah, so that's it. This wraps up our episodes on managing your Star Citizen finances. We created unit economics, identified our fixed and variable costs, created an income statement, and created our first 5-year projection. I hope this has helped you with modeling your business and challenging your assumptions. If you want to go deeper, perhaps you're a data nerd or a spreadsheet nerd, I would encourage you to research publicly traded companies in your area and pull up what is called their 10K filings. And in their 10K filings, you will find their income statements, and you can compare it to the assumptions that you have made for your industry and your Star Citizen organization and see how did they compare and how are they different. Remember that you need to factor in that Star Citizen is a game, and it has game mechanics that give you advantages over the real world. And if you're making comparisons to the real world, you gotta factor those in, and you also gotta factor in that unlike the real world in Star Citizen, chances are you're going to blow up once or twice. The Pur'N'Kleen podcast is a free Star Citizen podcast aimed at tackling the business side of the verse. Our episodes air every Monday. Don't forget to leave your question, comments below, and please do subscribe as it helps our metrics. Financial projections can have various length. A typical long-term projection is 5 years, so that's what we're going to use for our example. And you want to think about your growth curve and what success looks like for your organization.